Hey guys, welcome. When last we met, we ended the Revolutionary War. We had the final battle at Yorktown. We had the Treaty of Paris where we got the land from England. So now the United States of America is officially a country, but our army is disbanding. They're all going back home to their families. And so the guys at the Second Continental Congress are like, okay, the king and parliament was in charge of making all the rules and being our government. So what do we do now? And luckily they were thinking about it. What kind of government do we want to have? They had started thinking about that with the Declaration of Independence. And so they continued to think about what kind of government they wanted us to have. And that brings us to, now that we're our own country, we got to create a new government. So I've already added a title, a big box up there, because we're leaving the war behind and we're creating a government. And the next couple of weeks is going to be about creating our government, the United States of America. And beneath that, I've put another smaller banner. Our first government was called the Articles of Confederation, was kind of our first list of rules that we came up with. And you might think, well, why do we even need government? I mean, we didn't like the way the king was running stuff. So why is that even necessary? Well, let's put it in terms we might understand. When I think about lunchtime, I think about noon, 12 o'clock. Well, that's what a lot of people think. Well, what if every single classroom wanted to go to lunch at 12 o'clock? Would we all fit in the cafeteria? Would we all be able to go to lunch at that time? No, so we have rules and schedules about when we can go there. What if I decided, no, I'm just going to go to art for related arts today? I know my kids have PE, but we're all going to go to art. Well, what would happen to the other class that was there? What if I got an argument with the teacher of the other class? Say Miss Phillips had art today, and I said, I'm taking my kids to art. And Miss Phillips and I get in an argument about it. Who's going to calm us down? Who's going to tell us what the rules are? Who's going to, make sure we're following what we're supposed to do? Well, that's what the government does. The government makes sure that we are all getting along and doing what we're supposed to when we're supposed to do it. They're the rule makers. They also are the ones who form armies. They're the ones who print money. That greenback, that dollar bill that we like, that's printed by our government. So the government has to be in charge of all of those things. And they also decide when people have disputes. When you have an argument with someone that gets into legal stuff, you go to court and a judge decides. So government isn't always like a king and parliament not listening. Government also helps us keep our lives flowing. So the first idea we came up with was called the Articles of Confederation. And spoiler alert, it did not work. It was a failure. So I went ahead and cut out page 54. I cut out this information about the Articles of Confederation. So after declaring independence from Great Britain, the colonies had no national government. Representatives from the American colonies worked together to form a new national government. In 1777, they wrote the plan for the new government in the Articles of Confederation. It took until 1781 for all 13 states to sign it. Articles are kind of like rules, items in the rules. Confederation is a group of people working together. The Articles of Confederation established a loose association. Think about what the word loose means. A loose association of the states with a weak national government. National means the whole United States, having to do with the whole nation. And of course, we have the individual states, which were actually the individual colonies. Well, what this does is the individual colonies still keep quite a bit of individuality and their own kind of power. And the national government, that means the rules that everybody would have to follow, is kind of weak. It's wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Okay. So why was the first US government so weak? Well, Americans viewed the states as independent, and the United States as more of a confederation of states working together when necessary. Just like we had the join or die campaign. We were separate colonies, but when we needed something, we all worked together, won the Revolutionary War. But now that that's over, they're like, yeah, we want to go back to kind of doing our own thing. And then when we need to, we'll all join together again. Maybe. Okay. The states had all fought against the same enemy in the American Revolutionary War, but now they did not want to lose their newfound independence. They did not want to create a powerful central government that turned into another tyrant. They wanted to make sure they weren't going to get another king in parliament that wouldn't listen to them. As a result, the Articles of Confederation severely limited what the new central government could do. On the next page, you're going to put this title, Weaknesses of Articles of Confederation. And I've already drawn a wonky hand. I kind of did it bigger than my fingers because you're going to need room to write on those fingers, and you're going to need your colored pencils or crowns or markers, and you're going to watch the video on this day and take those notes. And that will show you the weaknesses and what it's going to lead into our notes for the next time we meet. Okay, guys, Articles of Confederation, go learn about why it was so weak, what made it weak, and why that was a problem. Bye.